Alright guys, in today's video we're going to do a simple maintenance type repair. You can see on the passenger side we've got a working headlight. On the driver's side we do not. Simple bulb type replacement on the Chevrolet Sonic first generation 2012 through 2016. Let me go take you through what's involved in doing that. Alright guys, I'll show you the passenger side first because it's a little bit easier. The inboard bulb is the high beam and it's going to be contained behind this screw off cover, right? So we're going to turn this and it comes off, and then if we look inside here we can see access to the high beam. This one's easy. Right? Now if I put this back on, this is to keep moisture and dirt and crud out of here. Get this guy lined up, turn him all the way till he stops. Same thing on the low beam on the outboard side. I'm going to turn that towards the driver's side to release it. This guy comes off and we can see down in there, there's the bulb. And then you can reach in there and get the wiring harness. So these two are pretty straightforward. Not worth too much making a video on this, but let me show you one other one and then we'll show the driver's side's a little bit difficult. So I turn that again towards the passenger side till it locks. And then the last thing is the turn signal bulb. That's right under here. Get out of here with my finger. You guys might be able to see it under there. Right, so you've got the turn signal bulb is the upper harness and the lower harness is the harness for the whole headlight. So this guy, you just give him a twist towards the driver's side and he comes out too. Then you can pull that bulb out. So let's take a look at the driver's side. Put him back in, and again you turn him towards the passenger side until he stops and he locks in. Alright, so now we're on the driver's side. This is the one we need to do. Again, pretty easy access to the high beam, but to get to the low beam the washer fluid reservoir is in the way, so you can't easily get in here. Now it turns out that you can remove this spout. It's held on with a gasket at the bottom and it's a friction fit part, but you want to check to make sure the fluid level is down to the bottom when you do this. If it's not, you're going to have to run the washer for a little bit to get it out. Another thing you can do is you can take a flashlight and you can kind of verify where your fluid level is. And you can see where that black gasket is if we kind of zoom in down near the bottom. Let me see if I can get this where it's not as bright for you guys. All the way at the bottom, this black area at the very bottom is where the gasket is. And so as long as the fluid level is below that, we should be able to slide this off without a huge spillage, just like that. Right? And with this guy out of the way where he's not going to get dirty, then we have ability to get our hand in here and turn this towards the driver's side and get this cap off. And now we have access. If you can look in here on the back side, we have access to get to both this bulb and the turn signal bulb. To get this guy out, we're going to give him a twist towards the passenger side. You guys can see that, but put it back the way it is. You're going to give a twist to the passenger side just like that. And then we can wiggle this guy free. Might have to put my other hand in here to get a good grip on it. Right? And there he is. And to get him to let go, there's just a little tab on the front on the wiring harness. Just going to reach my thumb down there, lift it up a little bit, and that's going to get this bulb out. Now we're going to replace that with a GM 1350 3417 bulb. This is the part number for the low beam. So this box over here, you do not want to touch the glass. Right? Now, there's different suppliers of these, but you just want to make sure that it looks roughly the same as the original one. And then it's just a matter of reconnecting the wiring harness without letting this bulb touch anything, then lining it up with the slots. You can see there's these prongs that are on the perimeter of this orange looking gasket. They line up with holes that you can see inside here. Just got to get it lined just right. You'll hear that kind of a thud sound. And then we can get in here and give it a twist. All right, you can see I twisted it back towards the driver's side, and it's in place. Now before we actually put the cover on, we'll go ahead and go inside and turn the headlights back on. Verify that we've got it fixed. All right, so that's a good repair. Similarly, if you wanted to get at the turn signal, you'd have room to do that now with this washer fluid reservoir out of the way. Let's go ahead and put this cover back on. It kind of snaps into some grooves and then twists toward the passenger side, and then you can reach your hand right back in this crevice. Hopefully you guys can see if I curve it a little bit, and there is the turn signal assembly. Put this guy back in. We're just going to line him back up. You can see he's got like a push in and twist kind of a slot on both sides. So we're just going to line up with down here. If we look in the washer reservoir, you can see two tangs. Those are the tangs that you want to line up with this. It won't go in if you don't get it lined up. There we go. It snaps back in, or twists back in. And that's it. Now, if you ended up having to replace the high side beam, that would be a GM 1358 9425. Typically, there's one or two OEM suppliers on these. Typically, these will be like Sylvania's, and the others with the low beam will be either Phillips, or like the original here was an Osram. But there's going to be two or three OEM suppliers that GM uses, and it's okay to use those or the actual genuine OEM one. My advice is don't use any of this no-name brand stuff, or you'll be doing this more often than you should. I'll put these part numbers in the video description along with the part number for the turn signal. I hope this has helped you out with how you can get at and do something with this obstruction. If you got questions or comments, leave them below and I'll try to help. If this video helped you and saved you some money on doing it yourself, pay it forward and hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching.